There is a kind of poverty more dangerous than an empty bank account, a mindset that keeps rejecting every path forward. A person can recover from being broke, but not while defending the beliefs that keep them stuck. In everyday life, this appears when Liam sees a low bank balance, but also a bright road filled with skills and opportunities. The hidden cost is simple. A chained mind can close doors that an empty wallet cannot. A stronger principle is to separate your current financial position from your identity. Start today. Write down one problem you can solve this week. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that constant blame turns real disadvantages into permanent excuses. In everyday life, this appears when Liam blames his boss, rent, the economy, and bad luck while ignoring a job application. The hidden cost is simple. Blame may explain the past, but cannot build the future. A stronger principle is to focus on the part of the situation you can influence. Start today. Choose one action that remains under your control. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that short-term comfort can quietly purchase long-term stress. In everyday life, this appears when Liam buys a $1,200 television on a credit card because the minimum payment looks small. The hidden cost is simple. Interest and reduced cash flow make the real cost much larger. A stronger principle is to judge decisions across years, not only across weekends. Start today. Calculate the total cost before buying. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that appearance is not the same as financial progress. In everyday life, this appears when Liam leases a luxury car with a $700 monthly payment while his emergency fund is empty. The hidden cost is simple. Social approval fades quickly, but the payment remains. A stronger principle is to measure success by cash flow, flexibility, and net worth. Start today. Delay one status purchase for 30 days. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that higher income cannot fix habits that expand with every raise. In everyday life, this appears when Liam moves from a $55,000 salary to $75,000, but upgrades rent, travel, subscriptions, and his car. The hidden cost is simple. A more expensive lifestyle can create the same old insecurity. A stronger principle is to assign every raise before spending it. Start today. Send part of the next raise to savings, debt, and investing. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that contempt for learning protects the ego but weakens earning power. In everyday life, this appears when Liam dismisses a $300 data course without checking its curriculum or job outcomes. The hidden cost is simple. Refusing to be a beginner blocks valuable skills. A stronger principle is to evaluate education by evidence and application. Start today. Choose one marketable skill and practice it weekly. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that a failed attempt is an outcome, not an identity. In everyday life, this appears when Liam receives a rejection email and labels himself untalented. The hidden cost is simple. Identity-based failure makes people avoid the next opportunity. A stronger principle is to analyze strategy, timing, skill, and feedback separately. Start today. Revise the approach and submit another application. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that impatience makes unrealistic money promises look attractive. In everyday life, this appears when Liam sees ads promising to double $2,000 in 30 days. The hidden cost is simple. Shortcuts often transfer money from impatient buyers to persuasive sellers. A stronger principle is to understand how value is created before expecting a return. Start today. Ask who carries the risk and what evidence exists. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that unmeasured money creates vague anxiety. In everyday life, this appears when Liam discovers that delivery fees, subscriptions, and impulse purchases consume $480 each month. The hidden cost is simple. Small leaks become large because nobody sees the total. A stronger principle is that measurement turns confusion into decisions. Start today. Complete a 20-minute weekly money review. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that small financial actions are not pointless when they build a scalable system. In everyday life, this appears when Liam automatically saves $25 a week toward his first $1,000 emergency fund. The hidden cost is simple. The first milestone proves that chaos is not permanent. A stronger principle is that consistency matters more than an impressive starting amount. Start today. Automate one transfer on payday. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that social media compares private struggle with public highlights. In everyday life, this appears when Liam copies a coworker's vacation without knowing whether it was funded by savings, debt, or family money. The hidden cost is simple. Comparison can create borrowed lifestyles and real debt. A stronger principle is to compare your direction with your own position 1 year ago. Start today. Track debt, savings, skills, and stress. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that treating wealthy people as heroes or villains prevents clear analysis. In everyday life, this appears when Liam studies a successful founder and separates skill, ownership, timing, luck, and privilege. The hidden cost is simple. Envy and worship both waste useful information. A stronger principle is to study the process instead of copying the lifestyle. Start today. Identify one ethical and repeatable principle. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that effort without leverage can remain underpaid for decades. In everyday life, this appears when Liam works long hours while avoiding skills, technology, systems, and ownership. The hidden cost is simple. Discipline on the wrong vehicle can become running in place. A stronger principle is to direct effort towards scarce skills and assets. Start today. Build proof of one higher value capability. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that willpower struggles when the environment supports bad habits. In everyday life, this appears when Liam tries to save while shopping apps, alerts, and impulsive friends surround him. The hidden cost is simple. Constant friction exhausts good intentions. A stronger principle is to design the environment so better choices are easier. Start today. Remove one temptation and schedule one good habit. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that cynicism can sound intelligent while protecting a person from effort. In everyday life, this appears when Liam says everything is rigged and refuses to enter a training program. The hidden cost is simple. Avoiding participation makes the negative prediction appear correct. A stronger principle is to hold two truths. Systems can be unfair, and action can still help. Start today. Replace one cynical statement with a testable question. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that motivation is useful but too unreliable to run a financial life. In everyday life, this appears when Liam creates a perfect January budget and abandons it by February. The hidden cost is simple. Plans that require constant enthusiasm eventually collapse. A stronger principle is to build systems that work on ordinary days. Start today. Use automatic transfers, limits, and a weekly review. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that a budget is a plan, not a punishment. In everyday life, this appears when Liam cuts unused subscriptions and keeps money for health, travel, and education. The hidden cost is simple. Fear-based deprivation creates anxiety, while intentional spending creates options. A stronger principle is to spend less on what matters little and more on what matters most. Start today. Cancel one low-value recurring expense. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that not every expense should be judged in the same way. In everyday life, this appears when Liam compares a restaurant meal, health insurance, and a professional certification. The hidden cost is simple. Consumption, protection, and investment have different purposes. A stronger principle is to ask what job each dollar is doing. Start today. Label upcoming expenses by purpose before paying them. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that time is financial capital because skills and earning power are built inside it. In everyday life, this appears when Liam realizes that 2 hours a day equals more than 700 hours a year. The hidden cost is simple. Giving prime hours to distractions leaves only leftovers for important goals. A stronger principle is to audit time with the same honesty used for money. Start today. Redirect 3 weekly hours toward a valuable skill. Small action is valuable because it creates evidence that change is possible. The core idea is that the most dangerous mindset is the refusal to update when reality changes. In everyday life, this appears when Liam replaces "I am bad with money" with "I have not built a money system yet." The hidden cost is simple. Rigid labels cancel questions and options. A stronger principle is to use language that keeps problems testable and changeable. Thank you for watching Financial Tutor. If this video helped you see money, work, and opportunity more clearly, subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and tell us in the comments, which belief about money are you ready to change first?